What's up, everybody? This is Revsanity. Welcome back to my garage. Today we are taking the 2015 Breakout over here to Emerald Coast Harley Davidson Dealership in Fort Walton Beach because I am just a little bit overdue for my 5,000 mile service. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We do motorcycle reviews, moto vlogs, you know, that kind of stuff. And if you don't know, we are doing a 1,000 subscriber giveaway for the month of April because we crushed our subscriber goal for the year. And we're gonna be giving away this Every Day is a Breeze t-shirt from Emerald Coast Motorcycle Culture. It's a good buddy of mine. Go follow them on Instagram. And then making my way over to my toolbox. You can see I got a bunch of stickers that people are sending me. If you wanna send me a sticker or anything like that, address is in the description. But for the grand prize, we are giving away the GoPro Hero 9 Black with an adventure kit and 5 micro SD cards. But not only that, my buddies over at Vance and Hines hit me up and was like, we want to give a second place winner some swag. So that's pretty awesome. All you gotta do is go over to my Instagram, see how you can win all that. We're gonna be announcing the winners on May 2nd, probably around 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. If you keep up with my Instagram, we'll be talking about the details on that as well as the time gets closer. But anyway, let's go ahead and head over to Emerald Coast Harley Davidson and we're gonna roll their intro and then we're gonna get started with the service. What's up, everybody? We are here with Brian over at Emerald Coast Harley Davidson getting the Rascal work done. The 2015 Breakout. What are we doing today, Brian?
We are doing a 5,000 mile service.
What all does that include? Oil change, I imagine.
Yeah, we changed all the fluids in the engine, transmission, and primary, clean the air cleaner, adjust the clutch, inspect a lot of stuff, critical fasteners, lubricate a lot of the hinges and pins and brake levers, foot pegs, stuff like that. Yeah, it's a little more than just an oil change, you know. So we'll start with getting this air filter off.
So in case you don't know what the air filter looks like when it's taken off, there's your throttle body. As you twist the throttle, there opens up. Too easy.
The transmission, I'm gonna do it first.
Okay.
On these soft tails, it comes out between the shocks. So if you try to get it last, sometimes it can get a little messy. It's way up in the middle.
Transmission fluid, looking pretty nice and clean.
Yeah, the transmission doesn't usually junk up that much.
Yeah.
This will be the engine oil. Should that look bad here? Alright. Going primary opened up. Get this clutch cable out of adjustment so we can reset everything. Kind of gets that graphite gray color.
Yeah.
Just from all the clutch fibers. So we like to get the kickstand because those will get kind of bound up sometimes, especially down here in Florida.
Man, all that salt air corrodes everything.
Yeah. Put some on this clutch adjuster.
So explain to whenever you're unscrewing the clutch cable right here. So whenever when you're unscrewing it, you're actually loosening it up to be able to adjust the...
Giving it a lot of slack.
Right.
Because you adjust it down here first. So I just like to free up the slack before I break this loose, because it takes all the tension off of it and everything, so it's not under pressure if it happens to be. So you just ease of disassembly, you don't run into any problems like a stripped out bolt or something like that if it's really stuck on there. So that's pretty much it. Like to get the pins for the levers, get those good. We'll get all the springs for the foot pegs, get those going good. Slide a little bit in right here too. Anywhere there's just a bushing or a joint.
So what do you ride?
I have a pretty custom 09 Dyna.
Nice.
I grew up racing dirt bikes and stuff, so I like to, ride a little aggressive, pull the front wheel up in the air, leaving red lights. And, rolling burnouts and stuff. So I stick with the 09 Dyna before the BCMs and just the old school wiring harness. And twin cam, bumped it up quite a bit. It's fun. It's my little toy, full custom paint job.
Right on.
So yeah, it's fun. Just got a new exhaust on it.
What'd you get?
A Trask 2-in-1 stainless.
Nice. Yeah.
I had a Thrashing exhaust, and it was one piece, a 1-piece 2-in-1. And so rubber mounted motors coming down from wheelies, my header would hit the frame right here, and it would try to bend the exhaust where there was no bend, and it would end up ripping the mounts clean out of the muffler and snapping the bracket at the transmission. And a lot of times it would shear the bolts out of the transmission case where it was mounted to. I had to get everything re-welded, and after like the 4th time I was like, I'm done. I want to fight the flexes. So the Trask doesn't even run a clamp around the muffler and the header. It's 2 pieces of pipe that are stuck real close together, and then you physically slide the muffler in between them. So it can flex, it can move, and it won't leak. So
nice.
That's the one I went with, and it sounds good. So
got a little checklist here.
Nice. So we're going to be changing all the fluids, pull the spark plugs out and look at them. I usually just let it cool down for a second because it's never good to pull out hot spark plugs. Got the air cleaner cleaning because we spray it with this stuff from K&N that cleans the filter, and then we wash it out. So we usually let it sit for about 10-15 minutes. That's why I just do it first and let it sit. We'll check your battery. Your brake pads are good. I've already lubed that. We'll check your neck bearings once we pull it down. I still got to do your belt. Throttle cables and everything felt fine. Need to test that. So I'll show you. Oh, I think mine.
So what is that brake tester testing?
It's testing the moisture in the fluid itself.
Okay.
So unfortunately with brakes, it's a hydraulic system, but as your pads wear, the fluid has to drop. So these actually have very small, and I don't even know where it is on this one, but they're vented to the atmosphere. So you can see that little hole, and there's actually will be a small pinhole somewhere in the gasket, depending on models and stuff like that, where they decide to put it. So it actually does collect moisture, condensation, stuff like that, hot and cold overnight. And so eventually your brake fluid does absorb too much water, and then it just makes for one, it creates kind of junk in your system, just the oxidation, stuff like that from the water. And then 2, it'll make it a little spongier because the brake fluid and the water compress at different rates or whatever the engineers think of. But so we just like to test them on the surfaces. It's a good idea to get them flushed every 2 years, but I see yours has bars on it, so they probably did it when they did the bars or something like that, because yours was 5. So that is also around here with the humidity and stuff like that. Your brake fluid's prone to get more moisture here than it would be, say, out west,
Arizona, Colorado, some of those areas.
So it's just one of those things. The region kind of affects us here, but yours is good, so you don't need a brake fluid. So.
Sick. Keep my money.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't always try to rip people off, you know. Just give people what they need. Like the Saddleman.
Thanks, man.
On my bike.
Yeah, I just got it. Actually got about 600 miles on it now, so it's just about broke in.
It's the best seat you can buy.
Just keeps you planted.
Dude.
I freaking love it.
Okay, make sure nothing's loose on the battery because these things do vibrate. So
You think?
So yeah, if your electrical system ever acts a little funny, usually that's the first place to look.
It doesn't look like they have a tuner on there anywhere.
No, but the good tuners aren't connected to the bike.
Oh,
It's one of those things where you just plug it in to unlock the ECM.
Are you calling out Vance and Hines?
Yeah.
I like the little fuel pack, actually. I got one on my wife's Sportster.
Yeah, for stage 1s and stuff, they're pretty good. A few cans.
Build the machine a little bit different.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna get triggered and be like, "Oh, my Vance, my."
Yeah, I went a little crazy. So my bike started as a '96 cubic inch. So I did the 103 big bore cylinder piston with high compression pistons. I have the old CVO 103 heads on there. The Harley 585 cam. And then I chain drived it to play with my gear ratios a little. So I run a 24 front sprocket to 54 rear, which is, I lost a little on the top end, but that thing will jump out of a hole like nobody's business. Helps with the wheelies and stuff too.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, it does pretty good.
Yeah, I thought about doing conversion to a chain at some point, especially if I want to go with that 126.
Yeah, it would definitely be helpful then. It's you don't realize how much give these belts have under power until you switch it to a chain, and it's just so much more instant, you know?
Yeah, I came from riding dirt bikes too, and then and then I had my first road bike was an F09. We're talking about a wheelie machine, son. Power wheelie in third gear.
Yes.
But so much torque. But yeah, like then I went to the Harley. I mean, I love the Harley, don't get me wrong, but like I could tell a difference like with the chain drive versus the belt drive.
Yeah, yeah. And then if you get on a bagger, I don't have one. They're kind of like these D-rods.
Yeah.
There's actually no bolts holding the sprocket to the wheel. It's a big piece of rubber and then these teeth, and you slot them together. So they actually can wear out and get loose, and they give a little bit, so you lose even more with those.
Yeah.
So I like just having the thing bolted straight to it.
Would you say the chain drives at least are more efficient? Or I don't know, not efficient, but like maintenance-wise, I guess.
That depends on the owner.
Yeah.
It's all on how often you lube your chain.
Yeah.
And everything. Me, since I have a custom painted bike, chains are not that expensive. So I'll run one for about a year because I don't like it throwing all over my paint job.
Yeah.
And then change it out every year.
Yeah.
So all you gotta do is drill or pop the mask or the link, and then just stick the old link through the old chain to the new chain and run it through, and then rivet it together. So,
too easy.
Yeah. So to me, it's now the belts they say can last hundreds of thousands of miles, depending on if they stay adjusted right and
You put like 1,000 miles on it a year.
yeah, how you ride and stuff like that. So, but I've seen a lot of people with built motors just shuck the teeth clean off these things. So, you ask me personally, belts are for pants. Not motorcycles.
Yeah. So you're tightening it there to tighten the clutch, basically.
Yeah. Try to just get it real good before it spins. And then, yeah, see, usually if you get it good enough, you can feel some pressure before it gets actually opening it a little.
Oh yeah, you can see
And
it.
then sometimes, with these ape hangers and the longer cables, they are a little more finicky, so you can get them to where, like, let's say the clutch grabs here if you have the handlebars turned all the way to the left, but if you turn it all the way to the right, it'll actually grab somewhere way out here, just because of the length of the cable. So I'm gonna try to make that where that doesn't happen. Basically, you just want a little bit of free play, so as stuff expands, you don't ever start barely opening up your clutch.
And you're just adjusting everything down from there.
Yeah, so you set that first at the actual basket, and then Harley has a measurement, and it's basically the thickness of a nickel. So you're looking at the end of the cable where it goes into the ferrule, and you want about a nickel's width of free play.
Oh, yeah.
So, and that's once you have this set, and that's it on the clutch at least.
Right, so you got the oil filter there. Oil filter sits right in there. Too easy. Let's pour more oil in there. How many courses does it take for the Softail? At least for the Breakout?
It's 3 in the engine, 1 in the transmission, and 1 in the primary. Less than 3 in the engine.
But if you put 3 in there, that's fine.
Yeah, well, you might notice some oil come out of your air cleaners.
Yeah.
Because if it's just a little over full, basically the way they're designed, it's going to pump the excess oil out of these breather tubes. And if it does a lot of it, sometimes it can't suck it all in at once.
Yeah.
And so it'll just puddle on the bottom of your air cleaner, and then you might notice a little leaking out of the bottom of your air cleaner.
And you're like, what happened? Did I blow something?
Yeah. Not a huge deal. Usually just clean your air cleaner and it won't do it again. Just had to get all that little extra out of its way, basically.
Right. Say about like, what, 2 3/4 maybe?
Yeah, generally. What I've kind of found on these this tank's a little different. The traditional Softail tank, you go to the bottom of the well for the spout. These we'll pull it down and check it. So make sure I get it right.
So you're just dumping the rest of that one into the the can there.
That way I know whatever I poured in the oil filter won't throw off my measurement.
Right.
Because filling up the oil filter on these, it pretty much goes through there first. So that'll really limit the time of a dry start, basically, you know.
What were you pouring it in down in here?
The transmission.
It's transmission, okay. Oh,
Yeah, because your transmission dipstick, it's hidden way down here, but that's that chrome circle. Like I said, the Harley transmission is generally pretty bulletproof.
Generally.
There are a few exceptions. I've blown my clutch up twice. My shift forks I've bent a couple times. But I know what caused that, so it's not like I'm going to blame it on the motorcycle. It was definitely rider, you know. I've used the out of mine.
Or some would say, ride it like it should be.
Yeah, basically. It's funny. You take apart, and I'm just being stereotypical here. You take apart an old man's Harley that puts along, you know, never getting above $3,000, you know, just tools them around. There is so much carbon buildup in these things, it's not even funny. You get somebody like me that is not afraid to ping it off the rev limiter every now and then. Clean as a ghost in there, man. I mean, no carbon. Blows all that stuff out. So
you heard that, guys. Just go redline it like once or twice a day.
Yeah, ride it.
Pound it a little bit. Make it easier for your mechanic.
Yeah, they like
or for yourself.
You know, you break it, oh well. It's you're doing it right. All right, so we'll do the air cleaner.
Are you just testing for any codes?
Well, I was gonna do that and see if it's been tuned. Just what all's been played with.
Oh yeah.
Since you were asking. So no codes. And then current or historic. And then it's like an old battery code maybe at 500 miles. It does say it's been race tuned.
Nice.
So
Look at that, race tune.
if you don't have a module with it, there should have been one.
Yeah.
It would have looked like.
Stand up and shout for what you did.
Yep, never received anything like that.